fabricating.
Okay, so let's start then. I am Marif and I'm your examiner for the speaking test. Can I have your full name, please?
Of course, my first name is Jamshid Bek and my last name is Habibullah. You can call me by my first name.
Mm-hmm. Jamshid Bek, do you work or are you a student?
Currently, I'm third year student of my bachelor's degree and my specialty is economics.
Okay, that's perfect. So let's talk about old buildings. Do you prefer living in an old building or a modern house?
Well, as a matter of fact, I prefer new buildings to old buildings. It's not like I hate old buildings. It's just like I have a great liking for new buildings because there are all conveniences in new buildings and I can easily take rest and continue my life in these kind of buildings.
Mm-hmm. Are there any old buildings you want to see in the future?
When it comes to the building that I like to see in the long run will probably be my own house. I mean, currently that I'm living, it's mainly because I was born there. I was born and bred there, and I've been living here for about 20 odd years, and that may be the case.
Mm-hmm. Should all buildings be preserved?
Um, I'm in two minds right away because all the buildings should be preserved for future generation. However, it's unnecessary. I mean, some of them are unnecessary for us because instead of them, we can build, I mean, demolish the old buildings and construct the new ones, and that will be really outstanding for us living in modernized era and kind of buildings.
Mm-hmm. What aspects of culture do old buildings reflect?
Oh, it really depends on the national, like, adequate, and on top of that, attitude of people. I can say for sure, for example, in Uzbekistan, old buildings aren't really, qualified, and it beats me, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. This is the end of part one. Let's move into part two.
Right.
Here is a cue card. It is going to the channel. Your time is up, bro.
Okay. I'd like to kick off by telling you about the circumstance or situation that I faced in my life. I'd like to talk about the first day at my institution. To be honest, 3 years ago, I was accepted to the institution, and it was called Fergana Polytechnic Institution. When it comes to my specialty, as I mentioned before, I'm third year student of my bachelor's degree, and when it comes to the major was like economics. The challenge that I'd like to talk about is really, terrible for me, because when I was accepted to the university, I mean institution, um, uh, first day at the institution was really terrible, and I couldn't really stand for that. Not least because I went there with my grandparents, and that was an awkward situation for me. And on top of that, like I'm really introverted person. That's why it's my nightmare to communicate with people and go to the new and brand new places. For the first time, I couldn't find out the place where freshmen are gathered. And what's more, to be honest. But in that circumstance, one person helped me to find out the direction. I can truly say that in that circumstance, I was really disorientated. And, if a person helps me, I can really appreciate him or her. But, for the first time when I went to the university, I mean, institution, I couldn't find for the first time. But after about 3 or 4 minutes, I could find out a person, and he gave me direction how to connect with people who are freshmen. And on top of that, when I went the institution, my grandparents said that it's your own fault you didn't talk to your like
Okay, thank
teachers
you
or.
very much. This is the end of part two. Let's move into part three. In this part, I will be giving you some questions related to part two. I mean, challenges. What do children often do when they face a challenge?
As a matter of fact, a person, I mean, a child faces some kind of challenges. He or she usually talks to his parents, actually. From my humble experience, when I was a child, I used to talk my problems to my brother or my like kind of new friend. I mean, a friend who was my best. Well, children are the same. I think they talk to their parents and communicate about their problems.
Mm-hmm. Why do people like doing dangerous things?
It can be a really majestic feeling to do some kind of challenging or really kind of very difficult things. And I think people faces these kind of challenges in order to get some kind of particular luxury, and feeling of energetic. Being energetic is really important for everybody, and people who are extroverted would like to take these kind of challenges.
Perfect. Um, are challenges more mental or physical in nature?
Oh, to be honest, challenges can be both mentally and physically difficult, but I think in most cases, by and large, most challenges are mental, because when we see something that is really difficult or maybe complicated, we try to stop doing this. I mean, we throw in the towel. It's mainly because the challenge might see kind of difficult and really big or enormous, and we just give up. But if we do this, it's going to be easy after time, after taking action, I mean, proceeding.
Mm-hmm. Can failure be considered as a positive outcome of facing a challenge?
Uh, Failure can be the fuel of succeeding. But the most important thing is that we gotta be perseverance, we gotta be consistent. If we fail, everybody encounters to failure, from my experience, I failed so many times and I succeeded. In order to succeed, you gotta fail. Everyone faces the failure. But as I mentioned before, the important and the very thing is that we should be consistent and kind of persistent.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. This is the end of part three. I have recorded your speech for marking purposes.